What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Last year's Battles of Legend was a game changer. This year we get Battles of Legend Relentless Revenge. Similarly, its reprints are very, very good, but let's take a look at them and compare it to last year's Battles of Legend, and then talk about a very bad habit that Konami has started to develop a little bit. I really like Gameciel in here. I think it's going to be one of the cards to really get a bunch of and keep last year's Galaxy Soldier, so to speak. It'll start low and eventually go high. It's still the #1 kaiju to have in your deck. Tornado Dragon, a pretty good reprint. I was thinking if it missed this set and the Megatons, it would be a good card to immediately pick up, but looks like Konami was keen to give this a reprint here, and Solemn Strike is very, very interesting. I would get rid of every variant except the ultimate rare now. The accessibility to this version of the card will just tank the prices on all fronts, in my opinion, besides the highest rarity one, and perhaps first ed secret rares from Bosch. But overall, if it's the same kind of setup as last year, where basically buying a box is going to get you a bit of every single thing in the set, Solemn Strike will, as we saw many staples, just go straight down. Now, their obsession with the Noble Knights continues here. We know we're getting a new Noble Knight card eventually. And, oh yeah, get ready for Cybernetic Horizon. Well, Noble Knight Brothers did actually have somewhat of a good price. So did Merlin here, who is now... It was the selling point of that product, the Noble Knight box, and now that Noble Knight box has been completely obsolete, but it's been years since its release. And we have Madrat. So, decent reprints here, oddly placed, but decent. We get TG Wonder Magician with a hint here, as a lot of people were speculating that perhaps the Nordic decks had Needle Fiber. They specifically said Phantom Knight Link, they specifically said Hero Links, and now they've actually updated that text to say it's for Nordics. So it seems they're hinting here Needle Fiber perhaps to sell the Megatons, as this brilliant fusion from the GX and 5D's theme will make sure to get you ready for the 2018 Megatons. GX themed. Ooh, TG Wonder Magician. Ooh, could it be Needle Fiber? Is this the hunt for Needle Fiber? Brilliant Fusion and Secret Rarity is actually pretty cool. We just got the Ultimate Rare, and the others are still hanging around the $8 mark. We'll go through some prices, too, right now to immortalize them in time versus the release of this product. Honest Neos, I don't like this reprint. It's the top-heavy card out of Duel Saga. Duel Saga immediately had its value ripped from it, and with Invoker and Trishula getting reprinted, you know, it hurt. It hurt a lot, and we see here, similarly, the Phantom Knights here in nice secret rarity. The only reason to pick these up, I feel like, are if you like secret rarity, and the same thing here for Diagram, because Diagram's gonna be secret in the Megatons. They already announced it's in the Megatons. What is happening here, Konami? You are reprinting these cards and going, these reprints were so great, we're gonna do it again! They've done that with Foolish Burial Goods and Allure very recently, and I'm not against cards being very accessible, but when you reprint something so soon after another product, you erase the value of the product you've just released. And I feel like we're going to see these in the structure deck. You get a head start before the holiday season. Oh boy. Oh, thank you, Konami. I can have hollow, really cheap dollar variants as is of these cards as the structure decks come out and get them again. Nice. Similarly with Diagram, you've announced it for the Megatons, but this reprint was so great, let's do it again. It's really starting to get to me how they're doing that and just erasing product. It's like they didn't learn from last year's Megatons, right? Last year you have the Megatons. You have the top two cards being Dimensional Barrier and Cosmic Cyclone on its release, announced already before the release of the Megatons in a structure deck. Then you take all the Dark Magician cards and you put them in the legendary decks. Half the Megatons value was wiped out immediately last year, and I'm having a sinking feeling that they're not done with some of these reprints is what I'm scared of. Like Solemn Strike being here right after we got the Code of the Duel Special Edition. That wasn't too long ago, and I get that its price was somewhat high, and it's nice to have staples like this, but I would have liked to see this actually sell a structure deck down the road rather than be right here, because we see a lot of staples stay under $2, or really good cards like Denko Seka stay under $2 somewhat after the release. But as long as they do keep that rarity spread, it makes it one of the best sealed products for going up and investing in. Now, I'm dancing around this. Trickstar Reincarnation, pretty good. Ixchel, actually, really good. Anytime you have draw engines, it's likely to maintain price, but we actually didn't see that with Into the Void last year. Into the Void is sitting around $1, somewhat surprisingly, and it got sunk permanently from its $15 price point. So is this actually healthy for the market? Not necessarily, but it's great for the players in general, and that's at the end of the day the best thing for everybody. Cyframe Driver, it should have been easily accessible like this. Upgrade to Unizombie, yes, this is what this set should be used for somewhat, and Eater of Millions. Upgrades, that's exactly what this set should be used for, not just playable things, but upgrades, and Gameciel fit in here perfectly with that. I feel like, though, if you already have a rarity, why not downgrade it here, like Tornado Dragon and Dragonic Diagram, and give some of those nicer looking slots to some of these upgrades? I feel like Konami's just not confident enough in some of these cards to do that, and they want to sell these in the nicest looking version possible for the powerful cards. And I would have rather seen Unizombie perhaps in Secret Rare than Ultra, but at least it's finally a USA Holo Unizombie. Now, comparing it to last year, we got Crystal Wing, which was a behemoth at the time, a $60 price point. We got Omega, we got Minerva, and so far we don't see the prize card in here. They actually shoved the prize card in the legendary decks. So we don't have a prize card equivalent unless they're hinting Chernubi, the Burning Abyss Link monster, with the Phantom Knights in here. I could see that, and that would be super nice. That would be actually really cool to sell the set. But Reincarnation, it just went up and is one of the top decks, and we feel like it's going to get hit very soon. It's not like a question of if, it's a question of when. And so putting that in here, we see the future of this product already decline. And then we get a bunch of, $20-ish cards. This was already going to go down. It has a reprint on the horizon. So, like, our comparison to Omega is Ixchel. That's just not an even playing field yet. But I assume there's more to come. Usually these articles throw the heavy hitters at us, though. So where's our Minerva equivalent? Will it be a Link Reigns monster? I sure hope so. I'm really rooting for the Burning Abyss Link to be in here over everything and shake up the WCQ just the right amount. That would be just the right amount of spice into the WCQ pot, rather than needle fiber exploding on the scene. I would really like to see that. So let's go through some of the prices right now. Ixchel, already down to $17.50 after the announcement. I think these would all be newer listings, as it was sitting around 24 recently. People are super fast today. I'm only like 40 minutes late, guys. Chill out. Gameciel, the super rare, sitting at 13. These are still sitting at 10s. These will quickly dip. If it's anything like last year's ratios, you will see every card just completely tank and become almost worthless. But I think Gameciel is one of the better ones to get out of the set and hold on to, but it is its highest rarity. Reincarnation, sitting here at 35. It was market price 42. That might be like an independent listing or a couple. No, they're sitting about 36, so they were naturally starting to trickle down as is. Again, comparison to a Crystal Wing from last year, not the greatest. Tornado Dragon sitting around the $10 price points. It was chilling out after a buyout from a while ago. All the Solemn Strikes sitting pretty. They're going to be going down. It's weird to see its drainage on the market, right? Like, if we actually go and look at Battles of Legend from last year, we go to Minerva over here, and we check in. Oop, I guess there's Minervas in other card games. My bad. The Exalted Lightsworn. And we go into Battles of Legend, Light's Revenge. Like, realistically, how bad was the market wrecked? Nothing in this product's above 8 because it's hard to have chase cards. Some of them rose over time because they were unexpected and people just didn't have them. And some staples over time are just bound to, like, anti-spell. But the rest of the set is just so bottom heavy. And, like, Sage was a great reprint. Let's throw it in Legendary Collection Kaiba. you know, it's pretty crazy just to see how drained these cards get. Trishula and Invoker were robbed from Duel Saga into here last year, and now you have Honest Neos. Like, it didn't need it, and it does hurt some of the product. How do you guys feel about this? Do you like to see constantly low prices like this, or do you want cards that you can hold on to for a long time that have a little more worth than this? I feel like some reprints are just needed. Like Sanctum at this point in time was a needed reprint, and it's good to see these cards consistently cheap for players to have them as we move on, but it really does feel like it wrecks, almost permanently wrecks the market with this set, and I think that's overall great for the players. But at the end of the day, do you feel like that's really, really good for you in terms of investing in this game? I think reprints are a natural thing that are going to happen, but I feel like maybe you should spice up the ratios in here just a little. Chase cards should still be somewhat chase cards at times, but we don't want to see them short printed. Just be transparent and, you know, make it a little bit harder, not intensely, insanely harder. I think that would be a good middle ground. But again, that's my thoughts on it. Do you guys love this kind of ratio? And what do you think of these reprints? I think it pales compared to last year, but how are you going to show up that first product? It's really, really hard to get there without being like this year's Mega 10s or just chalking it full of value that was coming. It's really hard to keep dipping back in the past and find these much needed reprints. So I think they did a pretty good job of finding them with stuff like Ixchel, and I like the nod towards cards like Unizombie and Eater of Millions. I think going back towards some upgrades was a good way for this set to go overall.